the stakes are very high here. Nikita Krylov gets his opportunity, man. This dude has been very middle of the pack. Layoffs, had his time where he could have made that upper echelon, but there's never been a moment where the light heavyweight division has been more open. Let's be honest. So Nikita Krylov, he could do it all. He could strike with you, he can grapple with you, he could submit you. But you're fighting a guy in Ryan Spann who also has really good bottom game in terms of his submission abilities, in terms of being able to establish guard, get back to his feet if need be. When he hits you, though, that's the difference that I'm seeing here. When he hits you, it only takes one. Nikita Krylov is going to be more of an accumulative damage here. So my question is, can a Nikita Krylov have the same success that he's had against some of his opposition if he's on the back foot in this tiny Vegas octagon the entire fight?
That's what worries me the most, Derek, is Nikita Krylov knows how to stall a fight and he knows how to win a decision. He has to be perfect a full 25 minutes in order to not get hit with that Ryan Spann death touch. I mean, it seems like quite a lot, but you got to remember the kicks of Krylov are going to be there. He's very speedy. He knows how to work his range. This is an interesting one, man, because like I was saying just a little bit ago, this is two fighters who have really transformed their own career and have hit a spot, like you said, Derek, that the light heavyweight title is open. It's up for, not necessarily open, but it can be contested, and it seems like there's a new path for a lot of different fighters, and both of these fighters are going to determine who's going to be on that path. Which one of these two, Derek, do you see more likely to win a championship and then maintain that championship going forward?
To be honest, man, like if I'm talking about just raw technical skill and ability, Nikita Krylov. I mean, honestly, right? But I will say Ryan Spann does have, he has fuck you power. That's the problem here, man. When he touches you, shit gets weird. He fought Jan Kutalaba, was thoroughly kind of losing that fight, right? Getting taken down a bunch of different times. And then what did he do? He says, all right, let me get back to my feet. You overextended yourself. Snatch that front choke. Boom, done. Fight's over. A lot of people will be quick to call Ryan Spann a one-trick pony, right? That he's all guillotines, all big right hands and left hooks. And you can argue a lot of people are pretty much like that. The problem is when he hits you and when he lands, it works. So I think the real issue here is going to be, will Ryan Spann stay within himself and not fall into that overextension that he often does? Because Nikita Krylov, with control time, can win a decision here. I don't see why he wouldn't be able to win a decision here. It's just a matter of, can you last 25 minutes without getting clipped? So let's take a step back, though, man, because I'm going to say that this is absolutely the most open the light heavyweight division has ever been when you think about the last couple of champions, right? John Jones reigned over this division for how many years? Daniel Cormier was next after that. And then you get what? You get Glover Teixeira, you get the, Yuri Prohashkas, things of that nature, right? This is a moment, where the title is flipping hands, changing hands, and all it's going to take is really, I think at this point, one or two big wins for any of these middle of the road guys to get their shot. So they got to make it. So let me ask you, who's the pressure more on right now? Is it on Krylov or is it on Spann? Because for me, it's kind of hard to gauge.
It is hard to gauge. I would actually say Krylov. He has a little bit more momentum going for him, a little bit more media hype, if you will. And I think the thing about Spann that kind of keeps him a little relaxed, a little on the cooler side, is a lot of people are expecting him to be that one-trick pony. So if you're already going in there with people doubting you, people not expecting you to rise to the level you can, it's a little easier to say, like you said, Derek, have that fuck you power and say, fuck you guys, I'm going over here and I knock this dude out. It's a little easier to kind of shake that off. Whereas with Nikita Krylov, you got to think he's worried about that picture going forward. These dudes have fought a lot of people in the division without their time of actually having, the moment to shine. Now is that moment. Which one's going to take advantage of it? What worries me is that death touch of Spann, man. I've been going back and forth on this fight for a couple days now, Derek. In fact, on the Twitch stream, folks, if you're not watching, twitch.tv/Santa Fe Bomber, go check us out. Dropping some picks before. But this one was a hard one, man. I was back and forth for such a long time on this one. The thing that interests me, Derek, I don't want to push it too quick, is that prop, though. Because the way I see it, the prop line right there, the way I see it, the longer this fight goes, the more it's favoring Krylov. The longer the minutes tick off, the seconds tick off, Spann is going to be draining that gas tank. And will he be able to maintain that power all the way into the third, the fourth, or the fifth rounds? Or is Krylov just going to take over as that time clicks down? What do you think, Derek?
I absolutely agree. That's how I see this fight, 100%. I think if it goes early, it's Spann. If it goes late, it's Krylov. But you have to take into consideration, Krylov has won. He won his last fight against Volkan Ozdemir, decision. Right before that, he got the first round TKO against Alexander Gustafsson. And if you're looking about like real long-term experience, even though it is easy for me to say Nikita Krylov because I've seen him kind of gut out these longer fights, a lot of his fights first round, second round finishes. So it's kind of deceiving because when you look at Ryan Spann, it's pretty much the same thing. A lot of first round jab against Dominic Reyes. The guillotine choke first round against Kutalaba. Got choked out in the first round against Smith. Knocked out Serkinov in the first round. Like, it's just first round. Maybe he had that split decision against Sam Alvey back in a little while ago. But at the end of the day, this is a very deceiving matchup because let me ask you this, and I know you probably know because you're looking at it, but when we say Nikita Krylov probably has a little more pressure, probably it's like his window is closing. I think some people might say that. He's younger than Ryan Spann, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at his thing, so I didn't pull up the age,
Yeah.
man. No, I did not know that, Derek. That's an interesting thing because it really does seem like the window for Krylov is closing. Maybe it's because he's been fighting a little bit more and the name has been in the thing. That's an interesting stat right there. I bet a lot of people aren't reading into that.
Well, homeboy he's 29-9, got damn near 40 fights, right? But he's 30 years old. Ryan Spann is 31 years old. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's dig into these odds real quick. -170 favorite for Krylov, +145 comeback for Ryan Spann. They do not think that Ryan Spann is going to be able to get this done in the late round as we just discussed. So let's talk about what's the juiciest bet to cash here, right? On your end, as a Nikita Krylov backer, where are you going here? Are you going that decision? Do you think? I think Nikita Krylov can also, realistically, I think if he gets Spann to the ground, he can submit him. I think he legitimately can. But what prop do you like the most?
That's what I was thinking. If I'm looking to get a little risky here, I'm feeling the mojo, man. I'm going Nikita Krylov with submission. I think Ryan Spann might gut himself out, might get a little tired, overextend, give up that neck, and the next thing you know, Nikita's snatching something up. Personally, though, I'm rocking with that decision. We've seen a lot of weird things happen, and for some reason, man, something in my gut is telling me Nikita Krylov by decision. What do you think, though, Derek? Are you completely unsold on that plus 1100 decision for Ryan Spann, or do you think he can actually last it out? What's the most lucrative one for you?
Most lucrative for me is that +315 TKO. I almost think that it should be much lower than that, honestly, in this spot right here. I think he absolutely could knock Nikita Krylov out. Even if you look at his record, Nikita Krylov has only been knocked out once in his career. So I might sound crazy to a lot of people. They're probably like, bro, do you know this guy's fought damn near 40 times, only been knocked out once, but has he fought a Ryan Spann? If you look at the hardest punchers that he's fought, you got Alexander Gustafsson, Volkan Ozdemir, Johnny Walker, Glover Teixeira, OSP, Jan Blachowicz. He hasn't won all of those fights, but he has fought some pretty legitimate guys and taken them to decisions. I just think Ryan Spann is just a different caliber, personally. So realistically, man, give me that Ryan Spann TKO. That's actually what I'm rolling with. I want second round TKO for Ryan Spann. And the reason why I like this here is because at the end of the day, look at these other props. 450 for the submission. Could he snatch a guillotine? Of course he can. You know what I mean? That's his patented move. The decision plus 1100, that's so juicy, but we're not going to take it. If anything, to be completely frank with you guys, and this be transparency between like the people watching and now, give me that plus 145 money line and let's just roll with that personally. But this is going to be a very fun matchup, man. This is really going to be the next, like I said, the next guys fighting for the title, in my opinion, they do revolve around this kind of echelon of fighter. You got anything else? Or you ready to move on?
Nah, Derek, I agree with you. And this, for another full transparency, folks, this one's going to be a very, very close fight. So look at how those numbers are moving and place those bets accordingly.
That's right.